Good day and positive vibration. This is Major, and thank you for tuning to Major TV Let's Talk. I listened to Roland Martin interview on Swear in the Morning several days ago. He has a new book he wrote called White Fear. He talks about the book in detail, and I haven't purchased the book yet, but I definitely want to look at the book, so I probably get it soon. And there's some things he was talking about, right? But he had made something um, quite interesting when he had spoke about the recent opinion by Jessica Ketanji, so sorry, Brown Jackson on a voting rights issue, civil rights issue regarding voting rights in Alabama. And I wanna get into that because when I was listening to talk about it, and I'm gonna share the audio. I'm gonna share the audio first.
The 1964 Civil Rights Act.
Yeah.
So black people fought to get the 64 Civil Rights Act. It was a racist Representative Smith, Judge Smith out of Virginia, who inserted women into the bill thinking it was going to kill it. It actually got it more votes. And so white women have benefited from a bill that black folks died to get. You look at yesterday's Supreme Court oral arguments when Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson broke down the 14th Amendment. The 14th Amendment, the Equal Protection Clause, was about black people. The 13th, 14th, 15th Amendments were Reconstruction Amendments. And so when you look at where we are in the history of America, every time we've had black success, immediately followed by white backlash. Because for them, it's like, oh my God, they about to get stuff. That's what's driving this. Not all whites, but that's what's driving it. And so we got to understand.
Great parents, and I believe historically, this have a lot of significance in what the media is calling Ketanji Brown Jackson invokes 14th Amendment history to the Supreme Court voting rights hearing. Participating in her second day of oral arguments on Tuesday, Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson tangled with Alabama Solicitor General in a case challenging Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, which bars race discrimination in voting policies. The justice agreed to review a lower court's opinion that found Alabama's redrawn 2021 congressional map was likely a violation of law because it includes only one majority black district of 7, despite the fact that black voters account for 20% of the state's voting population. In January, the 3-judge panel, including 2 district judges appointed by the former President Donald Trump, ordered a new map to be drawn with additional majority black district, which likely would have gained Democrats a seat in the U.S. House of Representatives this fall. The order was a dozen by the Supreme Court, which agreed to hear the state's appeal. In court Tuesday, Edmund LaCour, Solicitor General, argued the map was race neutral and that the order for a new map would put the state at odds with the Equal Protection Clause of the Constitution because it would have to prioritize race and redistricting. Now, when I read this right and listen to Justice Jackson's response to this, check out how she worded, and I had to just talk about how she invoked the 14 and broke it down. Jackson wondered why LaCroix would make such a claim given that framers of the 14th Amendment was guaranteed equal protection to all people, including former slaves, did not intend it to be race neutral or race blind. I think we can assume that just because race is taken account that necessarily creates an equal protection problem, Jackson said. She said the framers themselves adopted the equal protection clause in a race conscious way. The entire point of the amendment was to secure rights of the freed former slaves, Jackson said. Jackson, the coast's newest justice and first black woman ever to sit on its bench, then cited Civil Rights Act 1866, which specifically stated that black citizens would have the same civil rights as enjoyed by white citizens. I think that historical record establishes that the founders believed that race neutrality or race blindness was required, she said. That's the point of that act, to make sure that the other citizens, black citizens, will have the same rights as the white citizens. This case is one of the nine Supreme Court. This case is one of the nine Supreme Court has agreed to hear, including a range of major issues, including affirmative action, rights of LGBTQ people, and election laws. A decision expected to come later this term. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because there were some things Roland Martin said that made so much sense about affirmative action, about why Ketanji Brown invoked it, the 14 members. And it's ironic that everything that the civil rights bills of 1866 and 1964, 65, I believe, was all about equal the playing grounds and making sure black people, melanated people, get equal rights as whites, which we know systemically it haven't worked out that way. But what I love about it is the fact that you have someone, which is a black woman, that's on the highest seat, on highest court seat in the nation, that's invoking of the very right that was created. Because equal protection came in after they freed the slaves and they modified it, right? And she actually, probably not knowing her background, but probably the sons of former slaves, to also take their law and throw in their face and then break it down. I thought that was splendid. I thought that was spectacular. I thought that was great. And I admire the fact that she questioned the irony and the audacity of the solicitor in Alabama that tried to make it seem like, because, and you gotta remember, Donald Trump appointed some district judges along with high Supreme Court justice to I believe I can stand to be corrected, to redistrict something that would help black people, right? And the solicitor, he actually tried to challenge the fact, and she turned around and had to remind him. That's the reason why equal protection of 14 members was created. Equal the playing field, to make sure that black people or black citizens enjoy the same rights as white citizens. I had to share with the platform because even though we know systemically how things is, there is a major fight on all fronts though. But this right here, I think is special because she's still in the highest seat in the justice system and have pointed out an obvious flaw. And something I think we as a nation and as a people can always remind them, because they act like they forget. And even though we've heard this before, but sitting on a bench and then giving an opinion they're gonna be a part of the court decision whether they rule in favor or disfavor, her opinion gonna be in print. It's something to build off. As I always tell everybody, I'm not narrow-minded. I'm not one way in my thinking. I look at things from all aspects, from self-determination, from going through the civil rights aspect, or the legal aspect of addressing our rights, right? And I know a lot of people downplay that and voting and all that because of what's going on systemically in our country. I feel like for the sake of our ancestors and what they have created for us, because nothing has been given to us, we have to fight. Some of the very people, some of the very black people in high places probably came from former slaves or some kind of oppressive regime to be in position and speak out, speak up is beautiful. Um, the article will be description of video. Please read it. There's other decisions out there and what have you. And I also suggest you look at the Roland Martin interview on Square in the Morning. The link will be in the description of the video. I want to thank everybody viewing. Um, like and share this recording. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Hit the notification bell because drop content from Major TV is dropped oftenly. I have a rare videos I already done in the past. So if you want to know about my channel, you can go check me out and see what I'm talking about. I talk about a range of things. I do interviews, etc., etc., etc. Um, I have a live coming up this week. This week, Kristen Cook. I think it's gonna be a great live for a lot of people that trying to stand their walk in a quest. Check that live out. I want to thank everybody that is listening to this recording right now, and for those who have supported me throughout the years. I really appreciate you. Um, I can't say enough. I can't say enough um, about my gratitude and appreciation for that support. Um, please please be certain and believing that in anything you do, be mindful that the only way you overcome something is applying yourself. This is Major TV. And with that being said, stay focused, stay strong, and just be you. Peace.